Almost a fan of Khristian.
What happened? You don't like Christians?
I don't like
Khristian.
Khristian.
I heard something about Michigan. I was talking about Mekhi from Minnesota. So. Oh, you guys could roll something.
Call this meeting to order at 6 o'clock.
Morning.
Apologies, I didn't know we were having much, I guess, I printed more agendas. Sorry for this tonight. Big pieces of it. Resolution 5, 2. Would anybody like to pray over the meeting?
Gracious and eternal God, thank you for allowing me to we ask that you continue to guide us with one knowledge and how we can help us get along.
Senator Gamer, Senator Rowe, Senator Claude, Senator Semicor, Senator Dallas, Senator Solomon, Senator Cooper, Senator Perkins,
Here.
Sarge Gardinez, Senator Joseph, Senator Johnson, Senator Mendez, Senator Compton,
Here.
President Pro Tem Parrish,
Present.
Senator Park,
Present.
Senator Wolf,
Here.
Senator Brown, Senator Bauer. The quorum has been met.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Just a reminder for the senators and our guests tonight, wait for me to call on you. I know we had some issues with the last meeting. And also, please take the microphone so the mic with the camera can hear you so we can get proper recording. Any changes or modifications to the agenda? The chair is in search of a motion to approve October 30th meeting minutes. So moved. Senator Cooper moves. Senator Brown seconds. All those in favor of approving October 30th meeting, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Moving on to committee reports.
Great. So Judiciary Committee met this past week and they came up with some guidelines for so I know we've had some issues with attendance going on, just from talking to other chairs. So for committee meetings, you're going to get a first morning after you miss your first meeting, and then a second final morning, and then the third meeting, Judiciary is going to initiate an inquiry into why you were missing, and then if it leads to anything, they'll get an investigation. And then for Senate, it's going to be first warning, second warning, and a conversation with Judiciary, and then the third one, it automatically starts an investigation for absences. So I'm going to have Luigi send that out in an email so you guys will have that. But just please be here, and then if you have things coming up, make sure to fill out the form or let myself, Luigi, and Secretary. Okay. That's it. So the office hours I'm putting in this weekend on the shared calendar, and then if everyone can just check on Monday morning when they go in, or Monday morning, they can just check to see if yours is not there, if yours is not on there, or your time's incorrect. Please just message me. I might have put it in wrong.
Moving on to appropriations.
So appropriations had their meeting today. We've talked a lot about ideas that we want to bring forth to Senate. So hopefully by next meeting we have some resolutions in here, and the Senate budget is now down to $8,370.
Moving on to Research and Marketing Committee.
The Research and Marketing Committee met this week. we discussed some feedback for an upcoming town hall that our VPC will be putting on. Should be happening within the next 2 weeks. There's not a confirmed date for it. Secondly, we talked about the next survey that we're doing. It's potentially going to be an academic wellness survey. And then, of course, we did our normal sweeping work, making sure that our holiday posts are kept up with. Oh, yes. So if you all have not already, Luigi has sent out a link to join the calendar. If you haven't joined that, please, just so you can keep track of things. A while back, a couple meetings back, we talked about birthdays and how we were going to put them on. We were going to do that, and then two hurricanes decided to just fly on by, so that just sent everybody for a loop. But instead of emailing your birthday individually, if you could just put it on the calendar, even if your birthday already passed, we'll make sure to cover you. So don't think that you'll get left out. I know that some senators even have their birthdays over the summer, so you all are included too. Do not worry. And that's it.
Philanthropy committee.
So the Philanthropy Committee, we met yesterday, and we went over the final design for t-shirts. We agreed, we voted on the designs. So I will explain the designs to you all during open forum. We also talked about the dock a little bit. Hopefully the university fixes it. If not, we'll go further into that discussion as the months go on. But the biggest thing we did was finalize the designs for t-shirts. So open forum, we'll talk about that a little more.
Okay. Moving on to new business. The chair is in search of motion to bring resolution 5 to the floor. President Pro Tem moves. Senator Wolf seconds. All those in favor of bringing resolution 5 to the floor? Resolution 5 to the floor, say aye.
Aye.
All those against? Disappeared. Secretary, please read the resolution.
This is resolution number 5. The author of this resolution is Senator Perkins, sponsored by President Pro Tem Parrish and Senator Compton. A resolution relating to establishing the Moonlight Breakfast Ad Hoc Committee.
Oops, sorry, I'm trying to make it bigger, my bad. Go ahead.
A resolution relating to establishing the Moonlight Breakfast Ad Hoc Committee by providing legislative intent and an effective date. Whereas Moonlight Breakfast is a beloved tradition for students and faculty at Yale University, promoting campus engagement and lessening stress associated with finals. Whereas the event requires consistent communication, coordination, and dedication among all 3 branches of the Student Government Union. Whereas the establishment of an ad hoc committee is crucial to oversee the successful planning, promoting, and execution of the Moonlight Breakfast event. Therefore, the St. Leo University Student Government Union Senate will establish the Moonlight Breakfast Ad Hoc Committee with 2 representatives from each respective Student Government Union branch to promote collaboration. Therefore, the committee shall comprise of President Oakland, Vice President of Finance Wilson, Vice President of Activities Moss, President Pro Tem Parrish, Senator Perkins, Campus Engagement Chair Charles, and Traditional Programming Chair Astwood. Therefore, the Moonlight Breakfast Ad Hoc Committee Chair, elected by their committee, shall give regular committee reports to the Student Government Union Senate, Campus Activities Board, and Executive Board on the progress of Moonlight Breakfast Therefore, the Moonlight Breakfast Ad hoc Committee shall meet no less than bi-weekly, concluding after the completion of the post-event cap meeting. The resolution shall go into effect immediately upon the passage in the Senate and the approval of the Vice President of Operations.
Madam Secretary. The resolution is now up for debate on the floor. President Pro Tem.
So this resolution came about from last year when we had a recap meeting with BPA last year. So with that, we talked about needing all three branches in there. Just because it was a little confusing to try to go through one person and that information has to go through. And then also people don't have a say in that thing, in that what goes on with Moonlight Breakfast, but they're all expected to be there. So last year we tried to include them more, and then this year we decided it would be best for an ad hoc committee, and it also takes the stress off of Dawn a little bit more, as she's the only one holding down SFE besides Armand.
I'm just hearing some words, particularly President Pro Tem Parrish and Senator Perkins.
So last year, part of the people that were included, I've been planning Moonlight Breakfast or been a part of some type of management of Moonlight Breakfast for the past 4 years. And then Mekhi was helping coordinate food pickup last year along with Senator Compton. But Mekhi was the main one leading it last year, and that's why we picked this to just so it's a good transition.
Anybody? Senator Parks? Is there a second? Senator Senator, seconds. All those in favor of moving the previous question say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay. All those in favor of passing resolution 5, please. Beautiful. All those opposed? Resolution is passed. Chair's asserts the motion to bring bill number 2 to the floor. So moved. Is there a second? Senator Gila seconds. All those in favor of bringing it to the floor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Beautiful. All right. If the secretary please read bill. Oh. This is really hard to use.
This is bill number 2. The author of this bill is President Pro Tem Parrish, sponsored by VPC Melendez and Senator Perkins. A bill relating to the joint allocation of student government union funds and assigning planning duties for Moonlight Breakfast by providing legislative intent and an effective date. Whereas the student government union has had a long-standing tradition of hosting the biannual Moonlight Breakfast events to promote academic excellence before final exams. Whereas the student government union needs a significant dedication of funds for the successful execution of Moonlight Breakfast, whereas the cost of past supplies has arisen to meet the demand of students who attended previous Moonlight Breakfast, whereas the student government union needs a body of individuals to run the planning of Moonlight Breakfast. Therefore, the student government union executive board shall allocate $4,500 from its budget. Therefore, the student government union campus activities board shall allocate $1,500 from its budget, with $1,000 being dedicated to. Therefore, the student government union senate shall allocate $1,500 from its budget. Therefore, the student government union shall collectively allocate $7,500 towards the fall Moonlight Breakfast, which shall be used at the discretion of the Moonlight Breakfast Ad hoc Committee. Therefore, the student government union shall update planning services and the Gold Rush Dance and Cheer team on their part of executing Moonlight Breakfast. Therefore, the official poster must include the names of all 3 student government union branches, dining services, and any other campus partners. This bill shall go into effect immediately upon the passage in the Senate and the signature of the President.
Bill is now up for discussion. Senator Parrish.
I just have a question. In past years, how much money, John, how much money have we spent on this?
So this been year, before me, I know it was a little more pricey, but that was the bigger budgets, but with the recent budget sizes, it's been about 4,000, 5,000, at the highest from student government, and it's usually been, mostly executive board and then Senate, and then CAB with leftover prices from bingo usually. So we typically do.
Senator Brown.
Could you, like break down like what the funding like what is supposed to be?
We're just gonna pull it up. I sent it. I'll do this. So the amount went down from when we originally put this bill on the floor. Different things changed. So like as you can see, each other's response, we're not going to be able to be there this year. So like that's $500 that's no longer out of there, but it's around 6,805 is the most that we'll spend. But that extra $200 gives a cushion just in case something costs more or if anything arises, that's there. So it's less than the original 7,500. So I was going to mention that beforehand, but the agenda already went out, but it could be lower. But correct me if I'm wrong, executive board, you guys approved 4,500. So if CAB or Senate wanted to roll back theirs a little bit, we could. But that's just up to us.
So I'm looking at the numbers up there. So chair persons is out, right?
That's correct.
Correct. So, I'm, what's the coffee cart? Because it's a big price, and then there's a plus, and it's slightly more. So, is it just coffee? Like, is it just gonna be coffee, or is it gonna be other drinks as well? Yes, so the my coffee cart is going to be added there through a vendor. So we worked with this vendor before. This isn't particularly something too new. In past midnight breakfasts in previous years, we've had this vendor for either smoothies, tropical smoothies, normally like this spring semester. CAP has used them for a number of events. So when it says might be more, it's 1,275. That's the official price that I got from the vendor. During this year, it would be coming from the executive board's budget. We do have a bigger budget to work for this year. Normally, in previous years, we have had the coffee station that has been in the CAF. A lot of students love the coffee, the iced coffee that comes from there. However, it has posed a little bit of like, we've had issue with that being a station that's very busy in the past. And normally, when we would allocate for this, it would essentially be for 4 hours. It's 1,200, but that's breakdown. They provide unlimited coffee for the night, and it's a cappuccino. So cappuccino, hot chocolate, coffee, iced coffee. They provide all of the syrups, whatever else. I'm not a barista, but everything comes included. It's a total package, right? And we get that for like 4 hours. It's gonna be outside, and I know that a lot of students, sometimes they want to see a little bit of the different things throughout the years. So one thing that we did with help from our BPA was that instead of just doing Chick-fil-A breakfast biscuits all in one, we divided that in half. It's like 250 biscuits, 250 nuggets, because we saw that that was like something that students really wanted. So we try to listen to students. If they want variety, we try to give them to that. Obviously, in good means, trying to be fiscally responsible, but I think this is something that we should look forward to. Does that answer your question?
Senator Salas.
Well, I see the cost of the t-shirts is a pretty big budget. I don't know if these t-shirts are just for the Moonlight Breakfast, and if they are exclusively for it, I don't think it's a strictly necessary cost, or I don't know if it is. I mean, 1,500 to 2,000 just for t-shirts for that event. I don't think it's necessary.
And I just want clarification with because in the actual bill, it says budget, well, pertaining to the CAB, it says allocating 1,500 in the budget, just cuts off. So I'm assuming that's the prices that's on here. Okay. I assume so, just need clarification.
So I just wanted to touch on a couple of things. So the same traffic jam thing that happens with the coffee cart is the coffee station is the reason we went away from just doing a variety of chicken, because we used to do chicken and sausage biscuits, and we moved the chicken biscuits to solve that issue. And then I know people were complaining about dry biscuits, so we added sauce as part of the catering order as well. So I don't understand, like, the nuggets aren't as filling in my opinion, so I don't understand why the change is necessary. I know the nuggets are end up being cheaper, but it's probably going to cause people to go back for more for other things as well. Even though we say one for things, like, people don't listen. But I would say that to your point, Senator Salas, that you said that the shirts are pointless. And I would respectfully disagree, because out of all of those things, it's like it's kind of towards the top, but it's not the most expensive thing if we go. And the price is like $10. That's like the more extreme amount for what it would be. It's probably going to be like $8 or $9 per shirt, so it'll go down about $100 or $200. And the t-shirts are going to last for however long students are here. They're going to be wearing it. It's free advertisement for us, and I think that would be more beneficial to us than say the coffee cart. Like the coffee cart, I know it's $1,200, but like we did it for $0 last year for a traffic jam. I didn't see it, as something important. I worked the station last year. It was fine. Like, yes, it was stressful, but I don't know.
But to me, the coffee cart just seems a little excessive. I think most of your reasoning for it is because of the crowds, but when you go to Moonlight Breakfast, it's crowded everywhere. It doesn't really matter what you're going to get. Like, there's a lot of people in one small area. I don't know. I just feel like the coffee that we had was fine. No one was really complaining about it. It's not. I don't think we need to spend much money. But I don't know.
Senator Brown.
So I get the idea for the pop cart, and I think it's a good idea. But as President Parrish said, if we did it last year free of charge, why should we kick out money this year to do a coffee cart? Like I said, it's a great idea, but that's money we could put towards something else if we can try to do it again for free this year.
Dawn, I know you had to do.
I'm trying to sway you one way or the other. I was just going to share that in conversation about doing something different and potentially doing the coffee cart.
But because it would be set up outside, right, it would also provide in that way, like something for you all while you wait. So the bingo game and such usually starts at least an hour prior to the event. And it's the fall semester, which means, and it's Florida, so it could be 80, but it could also be 40. Don't necessarily know what temperature's gonna do. Also something to potentially provide a little entertainment, provide something prior to the event itself, and potentially keep you warm depending on what weather's doing.
I move to approve this question.
All those in favor of moving the previous question, say aye. All those opposed?
Nay.
Any opinion, share the nays at it? Senator Demarest, I need to have your hand up.
I just want like more clarification with like how we got the numbers for not each of the branches, but for the executive and the Senate of why each one's 4,000, 450, wow, 4,500, and the other is 1,500.
So historically on this, the executive board has paid for all of it in the past at the start. And then the Senate started covering back the 9 VPO. And then we've started to transition to try to ask CAB for stuff. So we added bingo prizes as well. And did like the event as a part of, the line is part of the event now. So there's just a bigger cost that's been associated with it. So that's why, there's more funds coming from the executive board. This is an executive board initiative. It's been like a long-standing one, I think, from like the early 2000s. So a lot older than some people probably. Another point, I just think that like t-shirts are more important than a coffee cart. And if we're gonna think about like not passing this for about t-shirts, I would say like the coffee cart is least important, and it's gonna cause issues in the line. I know I worked the line, and that was one of the biggest pains in the bus because people got in the line and then they jumped in their friends, and that's why we had to we gave the surveys last year in line to people, and that we made these other changes, and so I feel like we're adding new problems to solve problems that aren't really a problem. It's going to be crowded either way. And I wanted to know is there any way we could lower the amount of hours that they're there to cut down the cost, or is 4 hours the minimum?
Senator Salas.
So I just want to clarify what's the power of us, the Senate, over this Moonlight Breakfast budget. I don't know if we can modify it, or is it up to our discussion?
Yeah, so the resolution clarified that the committee would be able to vote. I think it's important that we discuss it so that Mekhi and myself, when we're in the committee, we can talk about it. I don't know the E-word's here and then Judea was here, but I think those are good conversations to have. But at the end of the day, it's going to be that committee's choice. So I know if the Senate is not for it, I'll vote no. If the Senate's for it, I'm going to vote yes on that. But it's still a possibility.
So my question is, and I could be wrong, if the ad hoc committee is the one that's supposed to be planning the event, why do we already have the event planned?
It's not already planned. There's just different vendors that we get lined up and get our quotes from. So there's still are we doing it at 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock? When are we starting the event? We have to go through that. We still have to order food from dining services. T-shirts, the designs, those are all things, and it's a lot longer process. It's just those quotes take a while. Usually Chick-fil-A takes 2 to 3 weeks typically. Thankfully, they kind of are looking for us nowadays at around this time. So it's just to give us more time to plan things out, make sure everything goes smoothly. Marketing and everything else that we have time for, because we kind of run out of time usually because wait, and then we're waiting on the agenda, and then we throw everything last second, and then, it doesn't give us enough time to do certain things.
I understand that, that's always how you're doing
So I like the idea of the coffee station. I think that's great. But what we could do is instead of having all of it inside, we could just have a hot chocolate and just a regular coffee station outside. I think it would cut down costs a lot. And then maybe we could put that into something else, such as Cheddar's or something else like that. So everyone's happy and we save money.
Senator Brown?
Sorry, I'm very hard. So, like I said, the coffee cart is a great idea, something different, we try new things, it's always great. But like we've discussed, I feel like the coffee cart is just, it's something, either we can try to diminish the amount or just cut out in general and just save that money for something else if we could try to do it for free.
Senator Cron?
Like the coffee idea is like a good idea. I think we should like I would keep them ready. So like Chick-fil-A, that's like a grabber. Chips.
I thought that was a question. Advisor Orlando?
So, great discussion. Let me just say, this thing is really about like allocating the money, right? How you spend the money, right? Like the ad hoc committee. Sorry, everyone. Should I start from the beginning? So if you decide to allocate the money, then you decide what to spend it on, right? Like the e-board already approved today that they're going to spend their part, right? CAP has already said that they're going to do their part. So really, all you have to worry about beyond how the rest of the money is going to be spent, because that's the ad hoc committee's job, is do you want to allocate this $1,500? If you want to do an amendment, you can put things on it. You can do whatever. You can add more. You can take some away. You can put, certain things on the money that can only be spent on certain, things. Sure, but as it is right now, it's just allocating the money. So, if that helps at all.
I just want to say that we also talked to CAB about a budget, and they were worried about that amount as well, and that's part of the reason they only gave like 1,500, and they're covering the 1,000 for bingo prizes and 500 towards it. If we wanted to, we could put a stipulation that CAB and the Senate are not willing to pay for the coffee cart. At the end of the day, like the executive board put their money in if they want to, they can pay for it. But I think like when we move to public comment, I feel like it would be good to get like student feedback on what they think if $1,200 is worth their time or worth their money. I mean, it's, what 1/20th of your budget is being spent on a coffee cart. Like, is that something that we think is valuable?
Senator Wolf?
So my biggest concern is just the comparison to last year's budget. If we could just clarify the issues that have potentially caused us to think about adding 3,500. I just want to make sure that if we're spending money, it's not for necessarily a different brand, but a brand that is potentially even better than what we've got. Because if we're just trying to make a change, I want to make sure that it's not necessarily out of this world, but certainly definitely noticeable. Because if we're just comparing stuff like, to me, this just sounds like Hershey's versus Kit Kats. At the end of the day, it's chocolate. So if Senate is going to be giving $1,500, I want to make sure that this is worth it. I think everything is a great idea, but there's also opportunity costs, because we'd hate to go down the road and be like, dang, if we had spent that $1,500, we could have executed this and that. I mean, I feel like we're getting a lot of the same feedback around multiple senators here, but I just wanted to add the cherry on.
Senator Deemer.
So we've had a lot of this here, at least for don't like the coffee car idea. We can always, I recommend that we just amend it to where our allocation of these funds don't go, like just does not go to it, so just amend the level to not include that part that we are never paying for any other food items.
I was actually gonna say that, but I was gonna say it in a way where I don't have my paper, because I forgot on accident, but that little paper where it says evaluation or, you know, all those little things, yeah. I don't know which, I don't know which thing it is, but that's what I was gonna say.
Want to make a motion?
You would make an amendment.
To,
You want to
like,
make an amendment.
yeah,
And what would you like to do?
I would like to make an amendment to, if we all agree to allocate our funds, yes, just not to the coffee cart, because it seems like we're on the same page for coffee.
Okay, so I mean, let me just say.
Yeah, I would say so, I don't
You
have my
can, you
paper.
can definitely do that, but I would say, then that money that you want to spend, I guess, could go to something else, but if you wanted to, they could just spend some of their money on the coffee cart.
Oh, no, exactly, but,
But you just don't want your blood on your hands.
no, I just feel like, I mean, I just feel like it's, if we could get it for free, we should try to get it for free. But if you guys really, like, you guys are putting more than money
I
in,
don't care.
so
I don't care at
it's,
all.
I just feel like us as Senate, we seem to be on the same page with coffee cart, so. Well, at least from the ones who've been giving feedback on the cart, the ones who've been giving feedback.
Friendly kind of amendment.
Are you still making it?
So do you want to move to stipulate that,
I hate the fact that I don't have my paper.
so just say, I move to
I-
amend the motion to stipulate that no funds will be used, no Senate funds will be used.
I
for
move
coffee
to,
carts.
would you say?
Amend the motion.
To amend, thank you, Luigi, so very much. Thank you, I appreciate that.
The beginning is gonna help you, but then you.
I move this motion to be, what?
I move to amend the motion
I move to amend the motion
to
for
stipulate that
our funds be allocated for anything other than the coffee cart. I'm sorry, it is so difficult.
that's an amendment. Well, I mean, there's a motion on the floor. Someone has to second it.
Senator Deemer seconds. All those in favor of Senator Brown's amendment, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The amendment is passed. President Pro Tem.
I'd like to move to amend that the 1,500 is not going directly to shirts, the Moonlight Breakfast shirts will be covered by the Senate. Yes, I move to amend, well, I'm making a longer motion because I'm going to fix my other error in there too. But I move to amend that the 1,500 that Senate said will not go to the coffee cart shall go to the Moonlight Breakfast t-shirts.
Wait a second.
And
Senator Brown seconds.
still not
Oh,
my
I'm sorry.
motion.
I apologize.
Yeah.
That was a long pause.
Yes, and I was gonna ask him to scroll up. To like, or down, where I screwed up with the,
Dedicated to?
yeah, so, and then amending dedicated to add, Moonlight Breakfast bingo prizes. Yeah, and that's it.
Is there a second? Senator Brown seconds. All those in favor of the amendment, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The amendment is passed. President Pro Tem.
I move that we move to public comment and ask them if they can.
Is there a second?
No, we haven't moved to public comment.
Okay, now the floor is open for public comment. The way this will work is, if you could please state your name, so the secretary can properly record you saying it. Obviously, it's like the microphone. You, sir, the red shirt.
Hi, I'm R.A. Paul Vitaliti. I want to comment a little bit. One, I like when you guys have your SGU shirts. It makes it a little bit easier for people to find you on campus. It gives students more of an opportunity to find you guys on campus. And it also mildly dissuades people from going on Yik Yak and posting their problems there. In terms of a coffee cart, I know you guys just did an amendment, but I'm kind of saying this in general. I like the idea of us having coffee the day before, like our finals and everything. It helps me out a lot that I don't have to worry about that. I can go to a fun event, worry about my finals later after the event. But I'd like to say too, I like the idea of it not necessarily being a station. I'm not saying that, again, you guys just amended and all that. The idea of it being like a coffee cart, I really like. That way, not everybody gets to Moonlight Breakfast at the same time. I know last year I showed up like 2 hours early, something like that, and was waiting outside in the cold. Stuff like that, when you guys have activities, have things for us to do beforehand, is nice. Because again, if you get there too early, you're bored out of your mind. If you get there too late, you miss out on all the festivities. And I really think that like having something, again, I don't want it to be a burden on you guys. Because if it's a burden on you guys for having that station, then that means it's less likely that we're going to have it in the future. Like again, President Pro Tem, you said that you work that station. If it's physically taxing on you, I don't want it to be physically taxing on you. I want you to have a good job, and I want you to have a good time representing us. So that's my 2 cents right there. Thank you.
It's a pain to work any station in my practice. That one,
Not ours.
yeah. Well, if you're over by Frank Neal's Grand Slam, it's absolutely the worst thing to be done. But yeah, all of the stations are rough. I just wanted to know if you guys felt that if 1/20 of the budget was strict for one time.
Yes, you in blue shirt, please state your name for the record.
I'm sorry. Hello, I'm Jadalene Ortiz. The coffee is a great idea, and obviously you guys have your decision made on it. But I know that the dining hall has a lot of coffee pots there, so instead of maybe spending that much on getting someone, to like come and make it, you guys could possibly brew it yourselves and get like a cheaper cost, and then just focus on getting like syrup and cups and whatever is required for it.
Currently, I'm one of 2 people that knows how to make it home. So it'd probably end up being me, which is fine. Me and the catering manager, Cindy, are the only 2 that kind of know how to make it currently still. Our old boss, Ray, that used to be over dining services, retail operations, also used to do it. So last year and the fall semester, I helped him make it. And it is cheaper, and usually dining service hasn't charged us, but when they have charges, it's been around $500 to $600, and we'll get the whole event. And then we cut out like chocolate syrup because we like had a whole box of that left over, and it cut about $100, $150. So we got it down to more cost effective, and then catered didn't even charge us from last year, and it's really not that big of a pain.
So I just want to clear one thing up. We're not getting rid of the coffee. We're just, the Senate itself is not paying for it. I'm Philanthropy Chair. We have a lot of other problems that we are trying to take care of. So the E-Board allocated a lot more money than we did and CAB did. So all we're saying, one of them can pay for it. It's most likely going to be there because the E-Board, I guess, has agreed that they want it there. So we're not getting rid of coffee. The Senate's just paying for something else. We're making sure we want our money to go to certain things.
Keep everybody here, and also there's still open, guys. Does anybody have
I believe if the Senate does not want to contribute money for the coffee machine, the allocation of the funds, if it keeps at 1,500, it's gonna indirectly pay for the coffee cart anyways. So like, I believe it's in order to lower the budget the student government Senate is gonna give to 1,200. So this would be like a suggestion of amend the resolution, but like, of course, first I'd like to hear what everybody has to say about that.
Senator Salas, our monies, with the amendment, we are paying for specific things, not the coffee. Somebody else is paying for the coffee, not us.
President Pro Tem.
I'd like to move to end public comment and reopen debate again.
I didn't hear you.
I made a motion to end public comment, move on to debate discussion.
Senator Cooper seconds. All those in favor of ending public comment, say aye. Aye. All those opposed?
And then I wanted to answer Salas's question. So we already said that we're only paying for shirts. So I'm not going to let them try to use that money. But I do think that CAB really didn't want to spend the 1,500. So I think if we lower any amount, since it's not going to be a 7,500 anymore, I think we should amend the bill so that CAB only has to pay 1,000. So they only cover the like breakfast bingo prices. And we can cover the full price of shirts at 1,500. That way, the numbers are around the budget number still. It's lower, and we know and we can even ask if we want to make it so that it says the Student Government Union Senate on the Moonlight Breakfast shirts for the logo, if that's what we want to do as a stipulation.
I move to previous questions.
Senator 74 seconds. Senator Hannah first. All those in favor of moving previous questions, say aye. Aye. All those opposed? All those in favor of passing bill number 2, say aye. As amended. Or I'm sorry, raise your hand. 1, 2. All those opposed? 1. The bill is passed. Did I delete the PowerPoint? Oh, I deleted the PowerPoint. That's why I got rid of it earlier. I'm sorry. I'm trying with this. I was up really late last night. Did y'all hear like something happened? Stop. Okay. Nope. Okay. PPC Melendez has a quick announcement relating to senators and food pantry. Yes, please. Thank you.
So just really quickly, I've seen a lot of you in the office completing your office hours, so thank you for that. Keep in mind, we do now have a key to the food pantry. It is hanging right by the door. I think it's on a candy cane.
It's on a egg wrapped by bacon.
I'm paying attention. I'm sorry. It's on a little fuzzy thing, hanging on the wall. That is there to open the food pantry for students who are inquiring about it. Please keep in mind that if you don't see a student worker out there, please feel free to go open the food pantry door and like sit out there so that students can go in there and they're not huddling around waiting for somebody to open it. That still counts as your office hour because you're doing work for student government.
Also, make sure they fill out the paper properly so you can properly document it. Representative from the SAE fraternity has some announcements today.
Hello, my name is Noah Brzezinski. I'm the president of SAE and also the assistant coach of the hockey team. My first announcement is going to be for the hockey team. So this Friday it's November 8th, the St. Leo hockey team will be playing Roland Tars. It will also be a military appreciation night. Puck drop is at 5 p.m. and it's at the Advent Health Center. I encourage you guys all to come. It's the ROTC is going to be sitting front row. We've already had a bunch of reservations for that, so they'll all be there. And it's also in the veterans newsletter that got sent out to all of the veterans. It's 900 plus people got sent out to their St. Leo students and veterans. We'll also be raising money for hurricane relief with T-shirts, and then we will also be raising money for the flyer on the right, which is our Turkeys for Troops philanthropy event. I see a struggle in this philanthropy event in that a lot of people live in the dorms that are students. We're buying turkeys for students that are either veterans or active military. So if you don't live in a dorm, that's kind of the students we're targeting. But if a student that lives in a dorm wants a turkey, they're more than welcome to. The leftover money will get donated to the American Legion and active duty, their active duty contacts. So it won't be like a bunch of leftover money, if that makes sense. And then, so if you know any ROTC or veterans on campus, please let them know that they have this opportunity. And I would love for you guys to promote it and show up to the event if you can. Oh, there was also one more thing I wanted to add. Senator Parrish, you talked about redoing the docks. I reached out to the head of maintenance, and I haven't heard back from him, but we have, SAE has a mural at that dock that we're trying to get repainted. So if you would like to reach out to me, or you can talk to Luigi and ask all the information, and we can figure something out. If there's something where we can help, or
Moving on back to other announcements, we have men's soccer senior night happening at 7 p.m. The committees relating to your leadership presentation, research and marketing is picked November 13th, so that will be Judiciary is picked January 29th. Appropriations is picked February 26th, so that leaves Philanthropy with, I don't remember the last day, so that was default to you now. Make sure you guys, obviously, like for the farther ones in the further away, but make sure you guys are working on that and make sure you follow the two slim guidelines that you guys, that would be when you guys present them to the Senate. Two required events, Moonlight Breakfast, 79 is happening. Also, another required event, Health Perkins. And then I was asked by the president to make this announcement. Benfica, the soccer organization, soccer academy, thank you. They're coming here for evaluation weekend. If you guys can help out between Friday, November 15th, and Sunday, November 17th, there'll be a sign-up link to help volunteer for that. That would be greatly appreciated. I know I'm going to try to help out with that. Yeah. Also, one more thing. Greatly appreciate guests that have come tonight. I try to get people to come out to the Senate meeting so they can voice their opinions and watch us in action. I highly suggest you guys come back. I promise I'll have more agendas. And obviously, you guys welcoming more friends, more the merrier. On to Quorum, President Pro Tem.
For Benedictine updates, we have a time. So the event will start at 5 to 7, and then we just need senators there. We need senators there at 4:30 on Monday. Of course, if you have to be late or you can't make it that day, for any reason, make sure you send in your excuse just like you would any other Senate absence. Yeah, that event's literally just, you're going to be helping set up like tablecloths and making sure like cookies and icing around, and then you clear up afterwards. So cleanup should be done by 7:30. And it's a cool, fun way just for us to get back and be seen around campus. And you get to eat your cookie too.
Thank you. So the T-shirt design that the Philanthropy Committee came up with, and due to the amendment, that is the final design. We're gonna send it in once we, get the mock-up up and send it into Cassie. It is a black T-shirt. It's gonna be long sleeve. It's gonna be cotton. It is also going to have a white logo on the left breast. It's gonna say Senator on the back and Mercury font. So that's what we've decided on. That's gonna be your T-shirt.
So today, just around the university, some flyers. I don't know if you have seen what just happened in Spain, in Valencia, mostly. I have seen those flyers that are to try to help to anyone who can by donations. I just wanted to see if it's possible to post that flyer in our social media to try to help them most we can.
Know that if anything is going to be posted on university property, it has to go through the approval process. So there's a form in Engage Leo called a university posting policy. So know that I did take down some of them. They're also posted improperly and taped to lampposts. So anything that's actually posted that's not on social media needs to go through the approval process before it can go up. Thanks.
I didn't print it.
How dare you, Eduardo?
I'm not from Spain. I'm not.
I know that. Just a suggestion, as we had this conversation earlier about moonlight breakfast and appropriations. I think it'd be good practice going forward when people write bills to look and see the last 2 to 3 years in terms of what we spent on those things, because that almost always is the first question that comes up when we allocate money. Like, hey, how much did we spend on this last year? So I think it'd be a good idea to whoever's writing some of these bills. No, Khristian, it's fine. But going forward, I think it's a good idea to get with Dijon and be like, hey, can I just, what did we spend on this last year? So that you have this information, or what did we spend on the last 2 or 3 years? Or, if it's a new thing, hey, this is a new expenditure. Because I think that would help some of these debates quite a bit.
I heard that the music collective is here to talk about something, so I just wanted to see. It can be it. Yeah.
Okay, so basically, in the near future, the music collective wants to write a resolution for the music collective. I have a part of the music program. Yeah, well, the music program in general. We just basically want not necessarily funding, but funding towards pro attire. So next meeting, we'll try to have a resolution or something written down to explain exactly what it is that we need.
Better content.
Just a quick question. So you said it's not necessarily funding exactly. I was just wondering if there's any kind of monetary value involved. Do you have a ballpark?
Yeah, okay, so when I said funding, not necessarily be something specific that we in the music program needs, not just just to stay sit in the music program, but it's something that
This meeting.
For 10 seconds. All those in favor of joining this meeting, say aye.
Aye.
All those against? Good night, everybody. Again, thank you for participating. I appreciate it. You guys are wonderful. You can always come back. Join the meeting at 7 o'clock, actually.
All right, we're
Hola.